Awesome, awesome. So thank you so much. We'll go ahead and get started in just a second. See if we've got anyone coming in, hopefully in just a moment.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so for the sake of time, we'll go ahead and get started. I want to make sure we give Katie here at Spalding all the time she needs to do a great presentation. So first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone to this virtual college exploration for Illinois students based out of IACAC. Thank you for joining us today. So a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so panelists cannot see or hear you, so no need to worry about that. This is just one of many different sessions that will be happening, so definitely be sure to check out the full schedule at iacac.org. This presentation is being recorded. So it will be available within about a week on the same website. Again, that's iacac.org. So I will go ahead and turn it over to our wonderful presenter, Ms. Katie, at this point. So let me stop sharing my screen. And all right, have fun.
Thanks. All right, let me get my screen going. Go. Play from the start. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for taking some time and coming to speak with me today. I know everyone's running around like crazy right now, getting used to either being back in person for school or still maybe getting better in the flow of being online. So thank you and welcome. My name is Katie. I am a senior admissions counselor at Spalding University. We are located in Louisville, Kentucky, for those of you who don't know who we are. And for those of you who do, welcome. And I still hope you all learned something new today. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. Like I said, Spalding is a small school. We are located in downtown Louisville. So we are founded by Catherine Spalding. She's a sister of Charity of Nazareth, and she founded Spalding when she was 16 years old. So if you ever need to feel like, man, what am I doing with my life? Imagine how I feel every day talking about this awesome college that someone founded at 16 years old. But a little bit more about us is there we go. Okay, I'm gonna hope that this plays. There we go. All right, so as you can see, Spalding is a small school, but we have a lot going on. We have about 2,200 students total, and that means we have a 10-to-1 student to teacher ratio. So for those of you who don't know what that means, for every 10 students, there's one faculty and staff member on campus to meet with you, talk with you, build that relationship with you. As we dive in more and more to Spalding, you will see that that relationship you have with your faculty member means everything to us. You're never just a number that comes through the doors. We're gonna know your name, we're gonna know something about you, and your professor's going to be able to write you an awesome letter of recommendation for whatever your next step is, based off what you want to do with your life, what you don't want to do with your life, why you chose Spalding, and what we can help you accomplish together. We were named one of the top 5 colleges in the state. And a big reason of that is because we do things a little bit different when it comes to our 6-week block schedule. It's definitely a favorite of mine to talk about, and we'll go into more detail with that in just a minute. But I do want to talk about our more than 25 organizations and clubs that we have on campus, and that does include Division III athletics. So while you can't receive a scholarship to come to Spalding to play a sport, pause, don't let that scare you. We have a lot of different academic scholarships that we know make up for that. But you're going to come to Spalding and play a sport because you love the sport and because you know the value in being a student athlete and what all that teaches you. So, new this year, we have men and women's lacrosse. Yay, we're very excited about that. We also, I found out today, to be honest, we hired an archery coach too. So if you're interested in playing any of those sports, please reach out to me, and I am happy to put you in contact with one of the coaches or someone in the athletic department, and we can get that conversation started about if you're a good fit for Spalding and if we're a good fit for you, because it definitely goes both ways. This picture that you see right here is of our brand new athletic fields. This is home to men and women's soccer and lacrosse, as well as field hockey. And you'll also see we have an awesome softball field. Unfortunately, softball didn't get to even open it up this year because this stadium opened almost exactly 1 year ago, but softball's first home game was supposed to be 3 days after Kentucky went on lockdown. So unfortunately, they didn't get to have that grand opening that they had been hoping for, but I've heard what they're planning for this coming year if it gets to happen, and I'm super excited for them because it's going to be worth the wait. So this is just a little bit more information about the athletics complex. And to be honest, I just think it's a super cool video because I'm a nerd and I love this stuff.
I don't even think we understand the impact that this facility is going to have on the city of Louisville and the opportunities that it's going to create for not just Spalding University, but the greater Louisville community. And there's a ton of organizations, there's a ton of ways to give back and just continue to grow our department, our program, and our university in the right direction. It's just a great sign for the future of Spalding University and our athletic programs.
All right. I told you that it was really cool. If you're like me, you love seeing stuff kind of come to life and how quickly it can happen, but also how they go from having just a concrete slab to all of a sudden this really awesome athletic facility. But anyways, now on to the block schedule, which I promised you I'd talk about, and I'm not going to let you down. Told you it's my personal favorite. So Spalding does things a little different. We operate on a 6-week block schedule. So instead of being in 4 or 5 classes from August to December and then January to May, you are in 1 or 2 classes for 6 weeks. Then you get a week off, and then you come back and you do another 1 or 2 classes for 6 weeks, so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, you are still taking those 4 or 5 classes that you need to be a full-time student in college and hopefully to graduate in 4 years. But it's just giving you a little bit more of a school to life balance, which I know myself, it just feels like sometimes that's impossible and that that's just made up and that it's not realistic, but it is. And I think that our students benefit from it a lot, especially right now with all of the unknown and all the craziness that's happening. We were able to switch our classes online while our students were away at spring break last year, and they never missed a beat because they only had to switch either 1 or 2 classes online instead of 4 or 5. So I hope that that gives them a little bit more breathing room to know, well, yes, we can only control what we can control. We're only worrying about a little bit of it, not all of it. Something I always like to point out, though, that you'll see the break between block 2 and 3, that is Thanksgiving. And that's built in on purpose for that way. You get the whole week off for Thanksgiving because, let's be honest, we need it and we want it. Thanksgiving is such an underrated holiday. I love mashed potatoes and I cannot wait to eat all of the mashed potatoes this year. So especially being from out of state, you're not going to just go home for a few days and then have to drive right back. You get to be home and spend time with that whole week with your family. Watch football, eat the mashed potatoes, eat the pumpkin pie, whatever it is you want to do. Maybe get to go shopping for Black Friday. Who knows what this year's going to look like. But I do know for a fact that we're all going to want that time with our families. We're going to need it. And if anything 2020 has taught us, we have a lot to be thankful for. And I think we're all going to want that this year. So the other thing I always like to point out is that the summer is totally optional. Most of our students do not have to take summer classes. So, as you probably know, to be a full-time student in college, you need to be in at least 4 classes a semester to keep up with your financial aid, your FAFSA, scholarships, all that stuff. That's very important. The sweet spot is 5. That's why I always say 4 or 5, because 5 should get you to graduate in 4 years. Of course, crazy stuff happens. If you're like me, you changed your major 5 times. So that kind of puts some wrenches in that plan. That's okay. Doesn't matter how long it takes you to finish or how you finish, as long as you do. But that's something I always want to point out, because take advantage of those last few summer breaks you get, because when you get to be 28, you really miss them. And I promise that I would do anything to have one back if I could. Okay, so another very important part, scholarship and financial aid. So as you probably know, Spalding is a private school. And I know the first thing you think of when you hear the word private is expensive. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's not, because that's crazy. And I don't believe that any school is cheap anymore. That's just the way things are. But I do believe that Spalding is affordable. Now, you have to help us make it affordable, but we can definitely help you, but you got to do some work too. So today is October 5th. Dang it, I was a day off. October 5th. So that means the FAFSA opened up 4 days ago. And for all the seniors in the room, I hope that you have begun that process at the least. Does anyone know what FAFSA stands for? It is the free application for federal student aid. It's very important. It's a great way to earn some money and grants that you maybe don't even have to pay back. And let's be honest, that's the best type of money. So complete that. Our school code is 001960. What that means is you have the option of putting 10 schools on your FAFSA. Fill it up, put all 10 on there, because at the end of the day, that's one less thing you have to worry about once you're ready to make that decision. At Spalding, our financial aid office strives to get you your financial aid award letter by the holidays if you're admitted in the month of October. So gives you some reason to get some stuff done, some hope to push through getting the FAFSA completed. Because I do it too. I'm a student and I know it's not the world's funnest thing, but it's important and it literally and figuratively pays off. But anyways, back to the scholarships. So Spalding offers scholarships, and these are your merit scholarships based off your GPA and or your test score. So if you see your high school GPA, we always keep in mind that Spalding accepts your weighted GPA. That is for both admission and for scholarships. That's very important and such an important question to ask as you go through the admissions process, because each school does it a little different. So make sure you know what you're getting yourself into and you're not going to expect something that's not there, because let's be honest, it's a lot of information that comes at you at once. So our merit scholarships start at a 2.5, they go up to a 4.0. So you find your GPA, follow it over, bam, there's your base award. That is how much you receive all 4 years at Spalding. This is not an award that you have to apply for, you have to write an essay for. This is automatically given to you upon admission to the university. Spalding is also test optional. What that means is you don't have to have an ACT or SAT to get into Spalding if you have a 3.0 and above. That is totally up to you on if you want to submit that or not. Flip side of that is I know a lot of students are having a hard time taking the test right now. I know Kentucky, we're an ACT state, and our students are struggling with it. That's okay. We don't want you to feel that you need to wait until you get that test done before you can apply. Reach out to me. Let me know, hey, this is what I'm hoping to get in to take the test. I've registered. What can we do? I'm going to work with you if we need to write you a personal statement, if we want to have proof of registration. We will figure that out together. We don't honestly have like a super hard plan in place for it right now, because as we've all learned, it's kind of silly to have a plan in place because things change every day. So that's kind of how we're going with it, and we hope that gives you the flexibility to work with us as well. Now, with that being said, our bonus awards start at an 18 on the ACT, or I believe it's a 1020 on the SAT. For every point you get above that, you get an extra $100. So if you were to receive a 22 on the ACT, you would receive $2,200 on top of that base award to come to Spalding. The cool part about our merit scholarships is they're not mutually exclusive. So you can have one without the other. So say you have a 3.7 GPA, so that gives you a $10,320 merit scholarship, but you're just like me and can't really get past that threshold on the ACT. You try and try and try, you do all the test prep, but you just never break through. That's okay, we get it. That's why this system's in place. We want to work with you, and we still believe you have deserved to get merit money without having that ACT attached. I know that is a lot of information thrown at you at once. So you're going to have my information. So please feel free to send me an email, shoot me a text message, and we'll figure that out together. And I'm happy to clarify any questions you may have. So your majors. To come into Spalding, you do not have to have your major decided. You can enter undecided, because let's be honest, it's a little crazy to think, I know exactly what I'm going to do with my life at 17 or 18 years old. I can promise you I didn't. I thought I did, but I did not. even at 28, I feel like I barely know what I'm doing with my life. And it happens. That's what we're all figuring it out together. So this is a list of all of our majors. I'm not going to read them all off to you. You are smart people. You don't need me to do that. I'm just going to highlight a few important facts about Spalding and some of the majors we do offer. So our business degree is cool because you can do just straight business, or you can do different concentrations within it. So if you would like to do sport management, you would do a business degree with a concentration in sport management. So when you go into that interview and you're going up against other people with a sport administration degree, you can tell them that you also have a strong business background. That's what's going to set you apart from that other applicant. You can put up to 2 concentrations together when it comes down to the business degree. Something else with that program is it is a 4+1. So what that means is you can start taking master level courses as a senior. Save yourself some time and money. So that way you can graduate with your master's in business communication in 5 years. So that's an awesome option to have. You don't have to do it, of course, but we see a lot of students are excited about that and go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity. Our social work program is the same way. And then athletic training is a 3+2. To be honest, I don't know why it's not just a 4+1, but they are a 3+2. End of the day, same thing. 5 years and you have your master's in athletic training. One other thing I want to point out about our graduate programs is that we are the only doctorate of occupational therapy in the state of Kentucky. The way it works at Spalding is if you get your bachelor's degree in health science, you meet a certain GPA requirement, which I believe is a 3.4, and then you get a certain score on the GRE and you do well on your interview, you're automatically admitted to the doctorate of occupational therapy. You don't have to have a master's to get into it. Well, I know that feels silly because you still have to meet requirements. This is a very competitive program. I've seen one of my best friends had I think it was a 2.8, or sorry, that was a 3.8. She had a 3.8 and did not get into the program a few years back. Like I said, this is the only one in the state. It's one of our flagship programs and one of the things we're most well known for. So I highly encourage you, if you're considering a path in occupational therapy, to consider Spalding, because that admission assurance is huge and it's so awesome. It's definitely something that you should consider and weigh heavily in that decision-making process. Our other flagship program is our nursing program. Fun fact, Spalding has Kentucky's first bachelor's of nursing. It is, once again, a flagship program and one of our most popular programs on campus. I'm a little biased because I have a ton of friends that have went through this program and they're great nurses. They have received a lot of honors since graduation and they know what they're doing. You walk into our nursing building and you feel like you are in a hospital, and that is done on purpose. We don't want the first time you go into a hospital to be for clinicals or for your job. They're going to put you, we have these sim bodies and they honestly are a little weird. I'm not going to lie, but there's a reason I'm not a nurse. They're just very, very lifelike. And the professors can talk to them or talk through them and say, my arm hurts, or this is what's happening. And you have to act accordingly. We even have a dummy that gives birth. Yeah, it's pretty wild. They can have this dummy have different complications throughout the birth process. But once again, it just shows how well prepared our nurses are to go out into the field when the time comes. So everyone is going to have different next steps depending on where you are within the admissions process right now, what grade you're in, and what you're really ready for. the one thing I'd like to really keep in mind for you is our application is free. We feel that you pay enough for college as it is. You don't need to pay an application fee on top of everything else. So if you go to spalding.edu, remember, there's no U in Spalding, then you'll find our application. It should only take you about 10-15 minutes to complete it. And then we need your official transcript and or test scores. Once you get that done, I will be in touch with you and we are going to move through it together. If you are a senior, don't forget to add us to your FAFSA. Once again, the school code is listed on the screen. But always ask me if you're not sure about what you need to do. It is literally my job to help you with this process, take some of that stress off, and make this easy for you. We are also on the Common app. So if you or your school accesses and uses the Common app, you can add us that way too. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for listening, hanging out with me. I hope you have a good day, and please reach out to me with any questions or concerns or anything at all. I'm here to help. Thanks.
Awesome. So thanks so much, Katie. So we have a couple of things here that we're going to go ahead and share. So if Katie, you'll stop sharing your screen, and then I'll go ahead and boost over so that they know how that they can access this information. So give me just 2 seconds. Go ahead and get this on the screen. Okay, so everyone should be able to hopefully see that. So thank you so much, Katie, today for sharing some wonderful information about Spalding. We're really excited to learn some more about your campus. Also, to all of our students, thank you so much for joining us today. So a couple of things to note: when you do close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions, as I mentioned in the opening of this. So definitely be sure to sign up for some additional sessions through IACAC.org to learn some more about additional institutions and different topics. In about a week, you'll be able to find the sessions recording, as well as all of the other session recordings at, as well, IACAC.org. So that concludes the presentation for today. Obviously, feel free to do any follow-up with Katie, and we look forward to hopefully all connecting at a future presentation. So thank you so much, everyone, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks so much.
Bye.